Hi, welcome to my video presentation on filter input with sanitation flags by Jen LaBelle. So before I get into explaining the filter input and the sanitize flags, we're first going to look at the client-server relationship. So as the client requests things from the server will then send a response back to the client, whether it's a good response or not. So now let's take this and relate the server to a library. We are the clients at home. We want to go to library, so we get in the car and we drive up to this awesome library, the server, and then we get our book and we go home. So now when we go to the library, the bookshelves are the different databases, and the books on those bookshelves are the information that can be found in each database. Now the cool part about this library is that the librarian in there, she will do everything for us. We just have to give her our book list, and she will go and she'll get the book, she'll read us the book, she'll give us all the information that we need about that book, and send us on our merry way, even if they have the book or not. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to apply the filter input as a bodyguard. So this is a really cool library, so it has to have a bodyguard. And so what that does is he filters the information as it comes in and gets sent back to the librarian. Now, like most employees in general, there's protocol. Now, without sanitized flags, the bodyguard doesn't have his protocol. And with the sanitized flags, his protocol tells him what to look out for to prevent people like, let's say, hackers from coming in and disrupting this beautiful library, this server. And so if we sanitize our inputs, then he can look out for those different things, so that way, like, say, a mysterious box or some crazy HTML that's going to come mess up our server, and he can make sure to stop them before they get in. For my first example, we are going to look at this code right here that I've placed, and it's for the filter input to for a name. So say we have a form that has username, password, and then it has like your name and the date. We're looking at the name field, and we're going to say that our name is Hello World. And so then if you come down to the bottom code in HTML, it says Hello World, but it has a heading 1 around world. And so when we go to push that out, it's going to look like here on the right where it has hello in regular lettering and then world in heading 1. It's following what you said, but because we didn't sanitize it, it didn't cut out all those extra snippets of the HTML, and so then it comes out looking a little cattywampus. Now this may seem harmless, but this basic understanding, you can do a lot worse things with it. So now here for example 2, we have the same exact code as before, where we are filling in the name field in our form as Hello World. But then we have, if you come down a little bit lower, we have a script tag around world. And so now what happens is hello stays in regular text, and then world is created as an alert which pops up. This isn't good, not just because it doesn't look good, but because now we can see that the hacker can use JavaScript in our field where they can input it, and that's called Crosssite scripting, which is bad. But what's even worse is SQL injection attacks. And what it does is the hacker is able to write the code that goes into our databases and messes things up, which can be a complete nightmare. So now if we go below the dotted line, this is how we can fix it. And guess what the answer is, guys? Sanitize We just sanitize. We filter sanitize, and then that way, what it does, it takes away the power from the hacker. So yes, now we see hello alert world, which is a jumble mess and it doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't work. We don't have all the extra pieces. And so now when we relate this back to our library scenario, this is our bodyguard taking the hacker, taking his tools away, like his knife or his gun that he was going to go take into this nice library and ruin, took it away. So the hacker can still walk in and access things like any other client could, but they don't have their tools anymore. So here are some more sanitized flags. There are a lot more out there, but these are some ones that I thought would be helpful in explaining. So with the first one, basically what you're doing is you're specifying that you only want to grab email, nothing else. And so it's kind of self-explanatory as you go down the list that you only want numbers for the next one and then URL. The thing with the last one that's really important is that this is what happens when you don't specify for to sanitize your input, your filter input. This leaves your security guard without protocol. This is what's called this is the default setting. So now your security guard has no protocol. It leaves you unsafe, unprotected, so then hackers can come in and mess up all your beautiful work. Thank you for watching my video presentation. I hope now you can understand a little bit more about what filter input and sanitation flags are and how to properly use them in your coding. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of your week.